What up, folks? What's going on? Welcome to the Spun Today Podcast, the only podcast that is anchored in writing, but unlimited in scope. I'm your host, Tony Ortiz, and I appreciate you listening. This is episode 240 of the Spun Today Podcast, and in this episode, I have a Throwback Thursday treat for you guys. I am resharing an episode that is about 8 years old, literally the 24th episode that I ever did, about the first time out of 3 that I traveled to India. For those of you who are frequent listeners of the show, you may or may not know that I do have a day job in finance. That's what pays the bills until you find folks start using the affiliate links more often, which can be found at spuntoday.com/support, as well as purchasing some merch and buying all of my books and telling all your friends about it. Books of which can be found at spuntoday.com/books. So until I can walk away from Wall Street with a couple New York Times bestsellers under my belt, or a few movies that were optioned for movies, or a full-length series or 2 on Netflix or Amazon, wishful thinking, but hey, why not dream a little bit, right? Give myself a little motivational fodder there. But such is the case now as it was back in 2015 when I put out the original India Part 1. So the company that I worked for then essentially outsourced a bunch of jobs, and I was part of a team that went over there to train up that new staff. And in doing so, I shared all of my experiences with you guys, from flying business class for the first time on a fancy plane, staying at a bougie hotel, taking in a lot of the touristy and cultural sites that India had to offer. And I recorded a lot of it while I was there. So it's definitely a good episode that I'll probably re-listen to just to reminisce a bit. And if you like it, there's a couple other ones from, I think India Part 2 is a second part, but breaking down more details from that very first trip. And then I have an India Part 3, which I think was related to the second or third trip there. So there's a few more episodes if, again, you're interested. And I just wanted to record this quick little intro to apologize in advance for the sound quality and or editing skills or lack thereof. Again, it's many years old, this episode. I've learned more about podcasting and producing and sound quality over the years, as one does when you just do something for a long time. So a lot of the ums and teeth smacking and long pauses in thought that I would normally cut out of an episode that I record now, I didn't as much then. So again, apologies in advance, but the content, the essence of the episode is definitely a good one and a worthwhile listen. So without further ado, I'm going to share a very quick way that you all can help support this podcast, the Spun Today Podcast, if you so choose. Your support means a ton and gets me a touch closer to the aforementioned dream. So here's a quick way that you can help support, and then we'll jump right into the episode. Support the Spun Today Podcast by following me on social, at Spun Today on Twitter, at Spun Today on Instagram. Please also check out and like my Facebook page, facebook.com/Spun Today, and subscribe to my YouTube page as well. On my YouTube page, not only will you get these full-length episodes, but you'll also get to check out some chopped up clips and bonus content. To get to my YouTube page, just search Spun Today on YouTube or click on any of the YouTube icons on the footer of my website. Also, don't forget to rate and review this podcast wherever it is that you're listening. It really does help. What's going on? Welcome to the Spun Today Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Ortiz, and I am back from India, like I told you guys I would be. Or like I told you guys I hoped I'd be. So I made it there and back. This is episode number 24 of the Spun Today Podcast. For those of you that haven't been listening to the last few episodes, let you guys know that I was going to India for work. Got lucky, and the company I work for needed to do some training overseas, and they decided to send me to represent the department that I work in, and I got a free trip out of it, and it was pretty cool. It was a shitload of work, but I optimized my time on the weekends, sacrificed sleep, and I got to see a lot of cool shit. This is the first of 2 episodes that I'm going to do about the trip. And basically, I recorded like 5 different. I was there for 3 weeks, right? I recorded 5 different recordings throughout the time that I was there, kind of spread throughout the 3 weeks. So it was kind of like an update. Each episode was like an update of what I had been up to, what I had seen, and stuff like that. So this is the first episode of the 2, and in this first episode, I'm gonna release 3 of the recordings, which will probably get you through like the first like 2 weeks or so that I was there. And the final 2 recordings were like the final week, like towards the tail end of it. Literally, I think like the night before I left, I recorded the last portion of it. Also, sprinkled throughout, like to divide up each recording, I'm gonna play some Indian music that the group that I was training. I asked each of them to like give me a YouTube link to like their favorite songs, and they did. I went through a bunch of them, and whichever ones sounded pretty cool to me, I decided to include them in the episode, kind of to go with the ambiance of putting you guys on to my experience over there in India. And what I try to do with this, with all these recordings, basically, is kind of what I like the most out of podcasts. And like when I listen to the podcast, like the Joe Rogan Experience or any of the dozens of others that I listen to. Good Times with Steve Simone, The Skeptic Tank with Ari Shafir, The Church of What's Happening Now with Joey Coco Diaz. My favorite aspects of them is their, like unedited, uncut, raw authenticity of them, and just getting like a feeling of like being in the room with those people, having those conversations, and when they speak about like the Comedy Store and shit like that. When I go visit it, which I plan to do, hopefully in the near future, out in Cali, and it's gonna feel like, oh shit, this is the room that they were talking about in this episode, or this is there, or if you go left, you can see that, and like shit like that. I don't know. To me, it like puts you onto shit that you're not otherwise exposed to, which I wanted to do for anyone that may not be exposed to India. And I had the good fortune of being able to go and visit, and had an overall good time, and it was a great experience. And just wanted to share it with you guys and let you guys into it. Pretty much let me know what you guys think of the episode. As usual, you can hit me up a slew of different ways now. Most of which would be on Twitter at Spun Today. You can reach out to me. You can also reach out to me on Instagram at Spun Today, also on the Facebook fan page, facebook.com/Spun Today, which, by the way, concurrent with this episode that's coming out, today's Monday, June 29th. This episode will be coming out on Thursday, July 2nd. Concurrent with that, I'm gonna upload a shitload of pics, just like like I randomly took on my trip. These are just gonna be like phone quality pictures and some videos, if Facebook could upload videos, I'm not sure. All in like one album, and I'm gonna title it the same title of this podcast, which is India Part 1. So this way, you guys can take a look at different pictures that I took throughout the trip. And actually, I'm probably just gonna call it India, because I don't remember like which places I spoke about in which of the episodes. I guess I could kind of like guesstimate it, but whatever. It's gonna be either India Part 1 and India Part 2, or just like one photo album called India, and it's just gonna have pictures of different places that I got to see, as well as like a wedding that we crashed while at the hotel, which is pretty fucking cool. It was one of my favorite things out there. At the hotel, there was a wedding. It's a traditional Indian wedding that takes like 7 days, and it culminates with the celebration that we wound up walking into, and we just wanted to go see, because we see horses and umbrellas and all these colors and flowers, and and drums and music and fireworks, and it was dope. So we went out to go take a look at it. It was like in the same hotel that we were staying at, and they wound up inviting us into the wedding, and like insisting that we like take pictures with them. There was like a stage, and it was pretty fucking trippy, and it was pretty cool. So there's pictures of that, and just a bunch of shit that you guys are gonna listen to throughout the separate recordings, to kind of sort of give you like a visual to go along with all the audio and shit. What else? Aside from that, you can also reach out to me and or follow me on, what's that site called? Tumblr. All these episodes are released on, of course, iTunes and on Stitcher, which hopefully you can rate and review the podcast on each of those forums. And also, the podcast episodes are also released on Tumblr, spuntodaypodcast.tumblr.com. You can reach my YouTube fan page, where you can also find all of these episodes at youtube.com. The actual link for the correct YouTube URL, just find it on my website. That's the easiest way. spuntoday.com. Go to the bottom on the like the footnote section, click on the YouTube link, and it'll take you right over there if YouTube's your thing. Also, to support the podcast, you can shop on Amazon by going through the Amazon portal on my website at spuntoday.com/contact. At the top center of the page, there's a banner to Amazon. Click on it. It'll take you to Amazon's website. You do your shopping, buy your shit like you normally do. And it doesn't cost you anything extra. But Amazon will kick me back, I think it's like 2 or 3 pennies on the dollar, just for driving traffic towards their website. And that would help a bunch, and would really appreciate it if you guys want to hook it up that way. What else? Something I'm really looking forward to, which by the next podcast, unless I record it beforehand, like the intro and outro for it, that I'm looking forward to are the UFC fights that are coming up. Very, very big card, including Robbie Lawler and Roy McDonald, which is going to be a dope fight. I like Robbie. I like the fact that he kind of sort of waited in the wing for a long time, grinded it out, and has always been like a hard worker, and realized becoming the champion recently. But Roy McDonald I really like for a while, so I'm rooting for Rory in that one. And then you have the co-main event, Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo, which is gonna be a sick fight. It's fucking really hyped up like crazy. Conor McGregor is just like this like shit talker to the max, like fucking like super confident, cocky Irish dude. They compare him, at least like talking wise, and his ability to generate attention in the media, to Muhammad Ali. Then you have Jose Aldo, which is like a stone cold kind of not too talkative Brazilian cat that he has literally not lost a fight in, I think it's 10 years or 9 years, and successfully over and over and over and over and over again defends his title. He's a fucking beast. And it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be a sick fight. I was listening to one of the Fight Companion podcasts on JRE, and they were speaking about this kid that Jose Aldo got to train with him, that looked him up and saw a few of his like highlights and who they compare him to and shit like that, and they compare him a lot to Conor McGregor, and a lot of people say, like, in terms of like his fighting style and even the way he looks a little bit. He's a young cat. He's like 25 years old, from Brazil. His name is Bilarinho. I should know how to say this. Bilarinho. He fights from the Jungle Fight Camp or something like that. It's like a league in Brazil, and he's the champion in that league. He's like 6-0 with like 5 or 6 knockouts, or 5 knockouts and 1 TKO or some shit like that. But he's like a beast up and coming dude. A lot of comparisons to Conor McGregor, and Jose Aldo has him training against them, or training with them in his training camp. And I don't know, I would want McGregor to win because overall I think I agree that it would be like a stronger, I guess, like a better, not play because it's not like fixed or anything like that, but like the outcome would be more beneficial for the business of UFC as a whole because he's much more marketable than Jose Aldo. But going for Jose Aldo in that fight, and I think he's gonna pull it off if he can fight because he has like a fucked up rib or some shit. I think he hasn't been able to train for like the last like week or 2 weeks or some shit like that. And tomorrow's the deciding factor if he's gonna be able to fight because he's gonna try to train. If he goes successful, he'll move on to fight week, and if not, then he's gonna step aside. And Chad Mendes, which is also a beast, has only lost twice, both of which have been to actually Jose Aldo for the title. But Chad Mendes would step in and fight Conor McGregor, which would be dope also. But definitely would rather see Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo if I had the choice. So I'm looking forward to that. And what else? 4th of July is coming up. Hope you guys enjoy it. Barbecue, have fun, watch fireworks. And lastly but not leastly, before I start off with the episode, I wanted to remind you guys, anybody who's a creative type or passionate about something or likes doing something or has a hobby that they want to speak about or, likes to write like I do, or, paint or whatever the fuck it is that you're into, I have this questionnaire / survey thing on my website. It's only 5 questions, and it's a good opportunity for you to share with other people and other listeners of the podcast now and in the future certain insights to what it is that you're passionate about. And the questions are, I kind of set them up in a way for people to be able to listen to the answers and gain something from it, including myself, like different tips on how to, how you stay motivated to do what it is that you're into, and how you get yourself to sit down and do the work, and just kind of like insight of, why you love what it is that you do and stuff like that. It's just 5 questions, like I said. You can fill out the survey. It'll come directly to me, to my email address, which is spuntoday@gmail.com. And I will read your responses on a future episode of the podcast. And you also have the option to remain anonymous if you so choose. And that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you think. Thank you very much again for listening. This is episode number 24 of the Spun Today Podcast. Once again, I'm your host, Tony Ortiz. And this is India Part 1. Hope you guys enjoy it.
ఏమిటో ఇవాళ రెక్కలొచ్చినట్టు వింతగా ఆకాశమంచు తాకుతున్న గుండెనే కొరుక్కు తిన్న కళ్ళు చూసినంతనే మనస్సు నవ్వే మొదటిసారి ఏం మార్పిది ఎడారి ఎండ మావి ఉప్పెనై ఉంచెనే కలే కాదుగా నీ వల్లనే భరించలేని తీపి బాధలే.
What's up, guys? This is India recording day 1. It's my second day here, my second full day. Yesterday we arrived, and I figured before I start, like forgetting shit that I want to mention, to help like capture this whole experience of being on the other side of the planet for the first time, that I should just record it in like sections, and I'll see what it accumulates to. Maybe it'll wind up turning into like a multiple part series or set of episodes for the podcast, but we'll see. Again, this is the first recording. So first thing I gotta say is flying business class is fucking dope. I can never afford that shit on my dime, or like first class, obviously, or anything like that. So, and I've also never been on a flight that's like longer than, I think, like 5 hours. To go to DR, which I've been to a bunch of times, it's about 3.5 to 4 hours. And aside from that, I've been, to like Florida and Costa Rica and like shit like that. So nothing crazy like this. So the way it worked with coming to India is that we flew business class because it was for work, and it was 2 flights. The first flight was from JFK to Abu Dhabi, and that was a 13.5 hour flight, or 13-hour flight, one of the two. And it was fucking awesome. My God, the best way to fucking fly. I'll tell you. It's so you get in and you have like these personal little like pods, and you're literally not next to anyone, because even the seats that are next to each other, it's kind of like shifted a little bit in the sense that it's not like directly next to each other. Like one will be like a few feet forward, and the other one will be like a few feet behind, like the ones that are like left to right. And it's only like 4 seats that are next to each other, right? There's one window seat, which I had, which is dope. So you're by yourself. Then you have the aisle. Then you have the person to your right, which is a little ahead from you. Then the person to their right, which is like in the middle also, a little like behind them. And then you have another aisle, and then on the right-hand side, another window seat. And the first thing that got me was you sit down, it's like a little pod, really comfortable seat. The seat has fucking a massager on it, and you have the controls like on your chair, right? Like on the left side, like like when you recline it and stuff like that. And in there it has the options for a massager, for like a little spotlight, fucking reading light thing, the other light from the top, and stuff like that. It has like multiple settings to the massager too, so you have like for your back, your butt, your leg, like stuff like that. It was really cool. Then you have a like a footrest thing, that you like put your feet up, and right, I guess that's what a footrest is. You put your feet up on it, and like you have space, like to your left you also have like a little desk area where you can write, like without having to pull down like the food tray thing. But that wasn't like huge or anything. It's like a little desk area where you could like put your phone and wallet and like shit like that. It has like a couple shelves on it actually, which is pretty dope. And the like that pod turns into a bed, so you have like the option to like to recline and like stuff like that, and then it turns into like a full-fledged bed. They also give you 2, like one big pouch, which is a blanket in it. You obviously have a pillow with your seat, and then you have another little pouch that's like a complimentary little pouch of stuff. And I just put that to the side. I didn't even like open it or anything like that in the beginning. And you have like a TV in front of you. Then to your left, where the like the controls are for like reclining the chair and stuff like that, there's a remote that's like on a wire that like pops out, that you like pull out, and you use that to control the TV that's in front of you. You literally have like 100 movies, like new releases and shit like that. I actually saw Ex Machina again, which I wanted to see. If you guys listened to the previous podcast, I mentioned it. I rewatched that. I saw another movie that. Oh, and speaking of those movies, there's like a couple quotes that I wrote down from them on my phone, which I thought were pretty dope, which I'll share with you guys. But first, let me tell you guys what the other movie is. I saw. What is it?
Project Almanac. That's what it is. It's like a time travel movie. I'm like into time traveling shit, and that show was pretty good. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I remember seeing like the previews for it when it was coming out in theaters, and I thought that it could be good, but that they could also like fuck it up like most time travel movies. And this one was done really well. I really liked it actually. So I recommend that if you guys want to see it. And what else? Oh, it also has like let me tell you the quotes actually from Ex Machina that I thought was pretty dope. The like rich billionaire dude in the movie, spoiler alert, which is like the creator of Google pretty much for like within that movie. I think it's called like Blue Book or something like that. He says, if you're going to exist, why not enjoy it? Which I thought was pretty cool. And I guess you got to see it like in its full context to like really get that one. And then he also referring to Jackson Pollock, which was a painter apparently. He was speaking about how he used to paint kind of like in a flow state and just, randomly paint and not really like plan it or anything like that. And he says he described it as being not deliberate, not random, someplace in between. They called it automatic heart. I thought that was pretty dope, that line there. So I decided to share it with you guys. All right, so then they have like a bunch of TV shows. They have the news, like BBC, CNN, a couple other ones. What else? And they had video games. That was fucking pretty cool. I was playing like video games too, and it has like old school shit like Street Fighter. Oh yeah, so the remote, like it has like all those controls, right? And then you flip it over, and it's literally like a legit joystick. It looks like a old like Super Nintendo, if you guys remember that, like that type of joystick, or controller rather. Like on the right side it has A, B, Y, and X, and on the top it has the left and the right trigger buttons. And then on the left it has like the D-pad, and it's pretty dope. It was pretty cool. And I played Street Fighter 2 on there, Tetris, mini golf, fucking it has Hangman, chess, like a car racing game, asteroids, like a whole bunch of shit. So it was pretty cool, in terms of like entertainment, and it's all like included with the tickets and stuff. You don't have to like pay to play or anything like that. What else? Oh, and on that thing also, on that TV, it has the option to see two different cameras. A front viewing camera, which is literally what the pilot is looking at. Like there's a camera like on the nose or like somewhere up there, like in the front, which is really cool. So like when you're taking off and landing, actually took a couple videos of it. You guys could like see all that. And then there's also like a landscape camera that shows you a camera view from underneath, like where the tires would be or where the wheels would come out, and you see under the plane, which is really cool too, like when you're approaching and landing and stuff like that, to see the view through there. And I thought that was pretty cool. I hadn't seen that before. And it was like super fancy from the service, the stewardesses and shit like that. They all have like these old school like stewardess get-ups. I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio. If you haven't, it's a really dope movie. You should check it out. In that movie, they show the stewardesses like with those like, I don't know, like beret looking hats and scarves and gloves and like stuff like that. That's how the stewardesses were all dressed here in the Etihad fucking plane. So that was really cool. That was like cool to see also. And the food, dope, like really awesome, like gourmet type fucking restaurant shit. It didn't look like the fucking school lunches that I'm used to getting at in like Coach, fucking school lunch TV dinner looking things. this was like Chilean sea bass seared with queso yo cuanto and blah blah blah, and lemon garlic mashed potatoes and like dope choices, right? And really tasty. Like, I had that as a meal. I had when I woke up. Oh, by the way, I slept also like very comfortably for 6 or 7 hours, which was really cool. After I got like tired, and then I woke up. Oh, hold up! I forgot to tell you guys almost like the best part. There is like drinks, obviously, right? So I had my whiskey on the rocks like I normally do. I had a Glenlivet. Those they had that Black Label. And the Glenlivet 12 years single malt. And when they bring you drinks, they give you these warm, slightly spicy nuts, like assorted nuts, which are fucking delicious. Holy shit, are they good? They're slightly warm or like toasted. I guess is the right phrase to say. And it's like almonds and cashews and peanuts. And it has like a slight like spice to it, like spiciness. So fucking dope. I want to see if I find them shits or something like it, or fucking make them. Or it was fucking delicious and perfect compliment to some whiskey. So I had a bunch of those, and then whatever. I wound up knocking out. Slept like 7 hours, and the next day I woke up, or the next, like, whatever, whenever I woke up, I don't know if it was like day or night or whatever. I had breakfast. I had like this warm, like really tasty oatmeal, like without exaggeration. It was like the tastiest oatmeal that I've ever had, and I'm not just like saying that to bullshit. Like, it was really good. And like raisins in it and shit like that. They also brought me like a warm croissant with some jelly and another, like a Danish and cafe latte. It was just dope, man. Like, everything was like to the nines and really good. The service was awesome. Everybody was friendly and nice and shit like that. And you know what did suck? The bathrooms. I guess that's something they can never like do anything about, right? Bathrooms in a fucking plane are always gonna be like shit. Oh yeah, but then when I wake up in the morning before I had breakfast, actually, I went to the bathroom, and I was thinking, I was like, fuck, I just slept, like I would normally, like 6 or 7 hours a night. I need to like brush my teeth and shit like that. Like, I wonder, what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to think in my head, like, where did I pack my like toothbrush and toothpaste and shit like that. And then I remembered that little complimentary pouch thing that they gave us. And I was like, give a toothbrush and toothpaste, like that would be the place that they would like put it, right? Kind of made sense. And I opened it up, and lo and behold, there was a toothbrush and some fresh toothpaste, mouthwash, I think, too, and I don't know what else. Like, that's all I used. I grabbed from there, went to the bathroom, brushed my teeth, freshened up. They have some fucking like face mist and fucking cream and hand sanitizer and a few items like that I wasn't accustomed to in Coach. And yeah, it was pretty dope. Then I went back to my seat and had breakfast. Fucking read a little bit, wrote a little bit, and it was pretty awesome. It was pretty cool. So then we touched down in Abu Dhabi. And hold up, I forgot to tell you guys, before I left JFK, I got like picked up at home or whatever, drove to the airport, and then had like 2 hours to kill or something like that before the flight. Part of the flight is a lounge for you to chill at, where there's like unlimited food and drinks and like shit like that also. So I had like decent food and pastries there. A few, I think I had like Red Label on the rocks there. I had a couple of those, and before getting on the plane, so that was cool. So then when we get to Abu Dhabi, it's the same thing, because there's a connecting flight, because that like big jet or something like that can't fly into India's like small airport, I guess. So there's a connecting flight in Abu Dhabi, and when we were waiting for that flight, there's also a lounge which was actually nicer than the JFK lounge, to me, and just had like some like assorted fruits and like little custards and pies and like Jello and like shit like that. We were killing time, drank some water, and just chilled there. Yo, the bathroom in there that has like the men's room or whatever has, you know, like a regular men's room. Then it has a separate door in it that you could go into, and it's like a private bathroom. You could like close it off and literally take a shower there. They have towels, they have robes, which I thought was pretty cool. I didn't do it, I didn't use it, but yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. And what else? So then in Abu Dhabi was pretty cool. I was listening to, I tried recording on my phone. I'm not sure how it came out, but a recording of like certain like announcements that I heard that were like in a language that I didn't recognize, obviously, and like singing and like the Indian sounding like singing. And I'm gonna try to play that maybe like in between recordings of these when I put the podcast together eventually. To try to give you guys a bit of a background experience, kind of like the episode that I did, the engagement episode when I went to DR, and I had some like background sounds and noises and stuff like that. I'm gonna try to do something similar to that with this one, to try to immerse you guys a little bit in the process. And by the way, like this whole, like I'm recording this as like a way for me to like capture like my experience, because it's something I'm excited about personally. I've never been to India. I've never been like on a business trip like this or anything like that. So this is all like new to me, and it's definitely not trying to sound like a braggadocio type of fucking like cocky thing. I'm just going through this now. I wanted to share with you guys, because me personally, I like behind the scenes like type of shit, and which is like something that I get from like podcasts that I listen to. Like there's like an undertone of that, like an essence of kind of like insider information, if you will, or I can't think of the right words, but behind the scenes type shit, you know what I mean? And this is like what that's supposed to be, kind of like to document the experience, like for me myself, for me to be able to look back on in the future, and for anybody else that either has gone through a similar experience and wants to compare, or people that haven't. I would have loved to listen to something like this before like actually coming, and just to kind of get like a feel for what to expect and stuff like that. So whatever, so if there's some of you like that out there, then you might enjoy this as well. But yeah, don't mistake that with like being cocky, or like who the fuck does this dude think he is, or like any type of shit like that, because it couldn't be further from the truth. I have a fucking 9-to-5 desk job, and just wound up in a position of we need somebody to go over there to do some training and shit like that, and they chose me, so I got lucky. But I'm fucking enjoying it, you know what I mean? Make the best out of it. And I'm gonna be here, if I didn't tell you guys before, for 3 weeks, like away from my family and shit like that. So that's the tough part, away from my parents, my brother, my fiance, and just a regular life. But definitely gonna make the best out of it while I'm here, and try to share that with you guys. So where was I? So we're in Abu Dhabi airport. We're in the lounge, and then we're going to board the second plane, which is a smaller plane. It's not it's still business class, obviously, but it's not it's a smaller plane, so there's no like pods and beds and stuff like that, because it's not meant for shit like that. I guess is meant for like those long 13, 14, 15 hour flights and shit. It's not like for these like 3.5 hour flights or 4 hour flights, which it was from Abu Dhabi to Hyderabad, India. But it was still dope, It's like the seats that I used to see, like when walking through, I guess not JetBlue, but like Delta or American, when you walking through like first and business class and making your way all the way back to coach, then you see like those seats that they're like bigger and like comfier and have like the leather and shit like that. It was those, which was cool. Obviously not as good as the fucking first plane, but it was doper than anything I was used to again. So that was cool. And on that flight, that second flight, I actually saw another movie, as well as had some like really bang. I didn't feel like eating or anything, so I just had a couple drinks. Well, more than a couple drinks. I think I wound up having like 3 or 4 Glenlivets on the rocks on that flight, and a really banging dessert. Which I don't even know. I don't remember what it was. It was like warm chocolate, salted caramel, whipped cream, something or other. And it was really cool. It looked awesome too. I took a picture of it. Which is another thing. I'm gonna try to. I'm not gonna post like all these pictures like from the trip like on the website, because that's where I keep the quote unquote photography stuff. But I am going to probably put it like on the Facebook fan page, which you guys can check out at facebook.com/Spun Today. Just to give you guys like a bit of context, put a little visual to this audio stuff. So probably on there. I'm not sure yet, but I'll keep you guys posted. Because again, this is when I put together this episode. It's gonna be like after I get back, which is gonna be like close to a month from now. But I saw on that flight, I watched another movie, which was A Most Violent Year, which was really good, and I enjoyed it. I liked that. And there was an actor on there which I hadn't seen before. He reminded me of the dude that played Lucky Luciano. I don't know if you guys saw Boardwalk Empire. He reminds me of that dude. And I actually thought it was him for a little bit, and then realized it wasn't. And yeah, but it was a pretty good movie. It was decent to watch. And there were a few quotes on there that I wanted to share. One of which I think I'm going to free write about, but I'll share it with you guys now anyway. Which is, or maybe both of them, but we'll see. The first one is, when it feels scary to jump in, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life. And that I can't do. That was one quote which I liked. And the second one is, you're looking backwards. Look forward. That's the only thing you can control. I thought those two quotes from the movie were pretty cool. That's why I wrote them down. And what else? Then we get to India. We have few, I don't know why, but fucking, it was 3 of us flying, right? And they got us 3 separate chauffeurs or cars or whatever, and that we're all going to the same place, but whatever. It was included, I guess. So it seems like a waste of money, but it's not my money. Whatchamacallit? So 3 different chauffeurs, and then we drive out to the hotel. And we get to the hotel. It looks really nice from outside. And but like on the way, this is something that I noticed. I mean, I haven't been many places. I've been to DR, like I said, outside of the U.S. I've been to DR, I've been to Costa Rica, and now India. But it's something I noticed when I went to Costa Rica, and I think it solidified it for me in this trip here to India, is that once you get outside of the U.S., like all the, everything else is, not everything else, but a lot else is like a third world country or developing country. It seems like all the same shit to me. And not I don't mean shit like, like piece of shit or anything like that. I'm just saying that it all seems the same to me, just like with a slightly different flavor. You know what I mean? Con un sazón diferente. In Costa Rica, it looked just like DR. The same type of like poverty, the same type of like where there isn't poverty, like that same type of like style. And just with the people were slightly different. They still spoke Spanish, obviously, but it just has like a slightly different flavor to it. And then India, I see this same exact thing. It feels like DR, like when I was on my way from the airport. Just instead of a bunch of Dominicans, you got a bunch of Indians around. You know what I mean? So, again, same thing like with the poverty that you see, same thing with the crazy driving and motorcycles and like shit like that. All of which I experienced in DR, like I said, and in Costa Rica, and now here. So I don't know if that's literally common to everywhere. But whatever, that's my experience thus far. And what else? Oh yeah, so we get to the hotel that we're staying at, which is really nice, and we get to the room, and the rooms are dope. I really like the room. I'm gonna be super comfortable here, for the duration of my stay. Like king size bed, a couch with fucking footrest thing on it, a big work desk, like an L-shaped desk that's abnormally extra long. Like a dope bathroom with like see-through glass walls all around it, and it has this really I don't know, I get impressed by fucking stupid shit. So there's this like button you press in the bathroom, because it's like a glass wall, right? You could see it like from like the bedroom or like the bed area or whatever. You can literally look at the like the bathroom. You can see through the glass wall. That's what it is. But there's a button in the bathroom where it brings down like a shade, like an automatic shade, like over the glass, which is really cool. And I don't know, I like stupid shit like that, so I got impressed by that. And that's pretty much it, man. That's it so far. Today we went out to we just like walked around a little bit around this area here in Hyderabad, and went to a mall. We took this little like to me it looks like those, at least in New York, if you're not from New York, maybe you have something similar to it, but like those guys that like pedal bikes like in Central Park, and there's like a little carriage in the back, and they pull you around. It looks like that, but instead of being a bicycle, it's a motorcycle. And there's a bunch of those here in India, like those like little tiki cabs or something like that. And we took one of those up towards like a mall area. We went to a couple malls just to like look around and stuff, which were, they have like their Indian garment like section and stuff like that, like with all the not saris, but well, yeah, I guess saris and like Indian looking attire. And then you have like the Americanized, fucking Europeanized, like tourist fucking sections and stuff like that. So that was a cool contrast to see, but it looks like any other fucking mall that I've been to. A bunch of fucking overpriced items and stores and stuff. And, a lot of the common names, Nike, Adidas, fucking Levi's, like stuff like that. And then a bunch of other shit that I never heard of. And what else? Then we walked. We literally wound up like walking all the way back, because we were like haggling with like those little cab driver guys. And obviously, whenever you're anywhere foreign, people see tourists and they want to beat them over the head. And we wound up just taking it in, and wanting to take in more of India. So we just wound up like walking all the way back. It was probably like a mile, it wasn't long, mile and a half or something like that. And we wound up walking back. These like the cab that we took over there, he charged us I think like 50 rupees or some shit like that, which I'll tell you guys right now exactly how much that is, because I got a little converter on the phone here. 50 rupees. 50 rupees is 75 cents in New York. And whatchamacallit, so we took that, and then like on the way back, like for a shorter distance, because we walked like a bunch of the way back, it was like this dude wanted to charge like 150 rupees or something like that. So it was, which is what, fucking $2, like $2.30. But it was like the principle of knowing like, yo, you're trying to beat me over the head, so fuck you. So then we just like kept going to, there's like a shitload of them like everywhere, and they're like stopping you or stopping next to you and asking you if you want to ride like every fucking half a block. So I just kept like haggling with like different ones, and I got like one dude down to like 60 rupees, and then when we got that guy down to 60 rupees, and the next guy wanted like 120 or like something like that. And then like when you say no and you walk away, then they knock off like 10 or 20 rupees, which is funny. But whatever. We were having fun like just haggling with them and shit like that and walking, and by the time we knew it, like we were already like at the hotel, so we just finished like walking the rest of the way. And that's pretty much it, man. The hotel is dope. It has a pool, which I haven't gone to yet. It has a gym, which I definitely haven't gone to yet. I should. And has a couple restaurants. We had dinner today at a Thai restaurant, which was really good. And there's another, I think like a barbecue restaurant joint or something like that, which I haven't tried yet. And then there's like the main like buffet area place where they serve like the continental breakfast and stuff, which I had this morning actually, and it was really good. It was they have like this separate like omelet station where you like order your omelet like to your liking, and they make it in front of you and give it to you, and then the rest is like buffet style. They have like all the cereals and pastries, and then more traditional like Indian type breakfasts and stuff like that. And I fucked with a little bit of everything, and it was pretty cool. I had a good time. And that's pretty much it, guys. It's the weekend still. We've left New York on Thursday night. Got here like the madrugada on Saturday morning. The madrugada, for my non-Spanish speakers out there, is very early in the morning. It was like 3 or 4 or 5 in the morning or something like that when we got to the hotel. And yeah, it's pretty much been it. Today's the first day that we actually like went out and actually did stuff. Tomorrow we have planned to have breakfast and then go out to like this shopping like market area, as well as what else we're gonna go see. I got a little touristy fucking pamphlet here. I'll read to you guys what it is. I'm definitely gonna take my camera to these. I brought it with me on the trip. I was like skeptical if I was gonna bring it or not. I figured if it fits, I'll bring it, and I'll assess the situation here. I don't want to be the only idiot rocking a fucking expensive camera walking around. But I saw like a bunch of people like just in this area, like with their own cameras and shit, and so it shouldn't be a problem. I'm glad I brought it though, because then these places that we're planning to visit, if they look as dope as they're described and as in their pictures and stuff like that, it should make for some really nice pictures to put up on the website at spuntoday.com/photography if you guys want to check that out. The first place we are planning to see tomorrow is called Golconda Fort. It's a fort standing atop an isolated hill. This fort is spread over a radius of 3 kilometers and now lies deserted. This legendary fort is the proud producer of the Kohinoor diamond. The massive structure with a walled enclosure with 8 gates, originally belonging to Kakatiyas, passed into the hands of the Bahamanis. I was way off. The Qutub Shahis. The fort is famous for its built-in acoustic effects, whereby a clapping of hands at the entry gate can be heard at the top of the fort, some 61 meters high. With a rich history, this fort in ruins will fascinate you. A sound and light show in the evening is an added attraction, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say light show because we're going in the day. Then the second place that we're going to visit is Qutub Shahi Tombs, which is about a kilometer from the Golconda Fort. Lies this cluster of graceful structures. This is the last resting place of Qutub Shahi dynasty, where 7 out of 8 sultans are buried. The tombs are built in Persian, Pathan, and Hindu architectural styles using gray granite with stucco ornamentation. It features an annual Nazal festival and other cultural entreaties. And I'm going to check that out mañana as well. And that's pretty much it, guys. That is what I got so far. Again, this is recording number 1 of the Spun Today Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Ortiz, from Hyderabad, India. Today's date here is May 31st. It's Sunday. And right now it's 12:22 a.m. And back home in New York, it's like 9.5 hours before, whatever that is. So it's like the middle of the afternoon over there. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'll keep doing these as I go. Probably not every day, but every few days. And let you guys know how it's going. All right, later.
ఆగని ప్రయాణమై యుగాలుగా సాగిన ఓ కాలమా నువ్వే ఆగుమా తనే నా చెంత నిండగా తరమకే ఓ దూరమా నువ్వే లేని నేనుగా లేనుగా లోకాన్నే జయించిన నీ ప్రేమ వల్ల పొందుతున్న హాయి ముందు ఓడిపోన జారిందిలే జలంటు వాన చెనుకు తాకి తడిసిందిలే నాలో ప్రాణమే ఈ బాధకే ప్రేమన్న మాట తక్కువైందిగా.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the fuck am I saying? I'm out of it. Welcome to recording number 2 of the Spun Today Podcast from India. Namaste. What was I gonna say? Right now in India, it's Wednesday, June 3rd at 5:09 a.m. And back home in New York, it's Tuesday, June 2nd at like 7:30 p.m. Some crazy shit like that. It's fucking rough because I have to work on like during the week. I have to work. It's at nighttime here, but I have to work like daytime shift hours from back home to be on the same page. So yeah, adjusting to that has been the toughest part of the trip, I would say. And whatever, I guess it's part of the experience. And last time I recorded was what, Saturday or Sunday was the last time that I recorded, and I updated you guys on. Oh no, it was before that. It was before I actually went out to the places that I told you guys I was gonna go to, which we went to, and it was dope. We had a really good time. We went to the Golconda Fort, which I'll read you guys from the little brochure thing here. It's a fort. I think I read it last time, but whatever. It's a fort standing atop an isolated hill. This fort is spread over a radius of 3 kilometers and now lies deserted. This legendary fort is the proud producer of the Kohinoor diamond. You diamond aficionados, let me know what that is. The massive structure with a walled enclosure with 8 gates originally belonging to Kakatiyas passed into the hands of the Bahmanis. the Kutab Shahis. The fort is famous. I just butchered the shit out of all of those names. The fort is famous for its built-in acoustic effects, whereby a clapping of hands at the entry gate can be heard at the top of the fort, some 61 meters high. With a rich history, this fort in ruins will fascinate you. And yes, it did. One of the guys at work that works here in India was telling me a bit of like the history of it, and he was saying like that those like built-in acoustics were to like warn every soldier that was holding down the fort that like an enemy is approaching. And obviously, there was no like walkie-talkies or cell phones or whatever like back then, so they literally used to like stand in certain spots where they could clap, and it actually like echoes like throughout, like not the entire thing, depending on the specific area that you're in, but each area has like a radius that it reaches, and it was pretty cool to see. That shit was huge. It was, well, first off, it was like 105 degrees that day. If you guys are listening to this, now or close to when I'm recording it, or down the line in the future sometime. Right now, there's a heat wave going on in India, and something like up to an approximate 1,500 people have died from the heat wave. And it's gone up to, not here where I'm at. I'm like in the southern part of India. It's called Hyderabad. But more north, it's a lot warmer. It's like 125 or up to 130 or something like that. Down here, it hasn't been that bad, to be honest. I was expecting much worse. It's hot. It's hotter than what I'm used to. I'm used to New York. Fucking hot is 80s, low 90s. Over here, it's been fluctuating between like 95 and 105. And imagine climbing a fort and walking through the whole shit 3 kilometers, and you have to it's a steep like incline, and you're going up like rocks and shit like that, and stairs that the shit's in ruins. But it's a dope experience. I took a whole bunch of pictures and with my new camera, and hopefully they come out nice. I want to like upload them to my computer when I get home, and go through them, organize them and shit, and try to post something on the Facebook fan page, facebook.com/Spun Today. By the time this is released, that should be up. It will be up, because if not, then I won't release this until it is. So go check it out. Facebook.com/Spun Today. That's pretty much where I'm gonna set up all these pictures and stuff of my experiences in India, on the weekends and stuff, the touristy shit. And yeah, that was one place that we went to. Then from there, we went to a second place, which wasn't actually the this weekend, most likely. That's the place we were planning on going to, but the driver got confused and took us to a different place, and which is Chomahala Palace. That's the place that we went to. And this was, let me read again from the pamphlet. Built between 1857 by the Nizam's Chowmahala Palace, eventually became the official residence of the Nizam, comprising 4 palaces in Mughal and European styles. Chowmala Palace was also where all the ceremonial functions, including the ascension of the Nizams and receptions for the governor general, were held. And this shit was huge. You want to talk about concentration of wealth? This shit is fucking huge. 4 palaces in one. They have fountains and vintage cars and weaponry, and like the whole shit is turned into a museum. So you walk throughout it, through different rooms, through like their old like living room, and I don't even know if you could call it a living room. They literally have like, there was one in one of the 4 palaces. There's like it's like shaped, picture like a square in the middle, that and it's like open like to the sky, like in the middle, but like the square around is picture like doors to the side of it, like walking into like indoors. So each length of each side of the square was a corridor of, without exaggeration, at least 24 different doors. So you have like 24 doors, straight ahead of you. It looks like one of those, like those mind illusion fucking trick things, that it's like a mirror within a mirror within a mirror, and it's like gets smaller, smaller, smaller. Or like if you draw a square within a square within a square within a square, it looked exactly like that 4 times over. So you're looking and walking in one direction. It's like 24 doors. You looking, you make a right, another 24 doors. You walk that way, you make another right. Like a fucking square. And that was one part of one of the 4 palaces within the fucking whole estate, and that was sick. And it was cool to see though, because it's from, like the thing says, from like the 1800s, 1850s, and you see like their old china is like completely like intact and stuff. They have it like behind glass and stuff. It's like museum style. Their old like fucking forks and knives and trays, like all kitchen utensils. Their old fucking what's it called, like bureaus, like fucking like bedroom sets and like stuff like that. Chandeliers. Their old clothes. There's children's clothes. And it's pretty sick, like, to see like old school shit like that. I found it fascinating. It was pretty cool. Fountains, vintage cars. They had, let me see if I have here. There's a couple pictures that I just took on my phone that weren't weren't like camera worthy pictures, but would be cool for like the memory of it. Let's see. There was a Rolls Royce. I'll tell you guys from what year. I don't know if I wrote the year down. Give me 1 second. I'm just sifting through my phone. And no, I didn't write it. But whatever. It's from 1850s. The place that it was built. So I'm guessing somewhere between like then and like the early 1900s. You guys could fact check whenever fucking Rolls Royce was making cars, but it was sick. It was like old school cars like that. It was really cool. What else? What else was there? Went through the pictures to see if I remember anything else. It was like old. Oh yeah, like old jewelry, like stone rings and fucking earrings and just like the jewelry they used to rock back in the day, back then, I guess. It's fucking royalty. It's sick. It's sick to like just walk through and just like picture, like thinking back, like them just walking through their house, fucking chilling in their underwear. Fucking royalty. It was cool. It was interesting. What else? What was like fun and crazy and weird? When we were in the other place, the first place that we went to, the fort, the Golconda Fort, there was mad people there, right? And it's like a big like tourist attraction thing, but there's like the people that live in India, and they were there, and we like seemed, I guess, like exotic to them or different, because there's obviously it's like it's the word I'm looking for. India's like homogenous in terms of its people. There's a shitload of Indians, and it's not like New York, where you have like a mix of people, or I guess in most like big cities like that in the U.S. and shit that people immigrate to. So to them, like, we were getting like a lot of like looks and stuff. Not so much me. I'm Dominican. I have like tan skin. I look fucking Indian. I could pass for, I guess. But all the like white people that I was with, my coworkers and stuff, they would get like double and triple takes. And it was hilarious that it came to a point where people were literally coming up to us asking to take pictures with them. They were like, "Can we take picture? Can we take picture?" Like entire families, like full families, like the parents, the kids, fucking little cousins, and it was cool. And literally happened without exaggeration, almost a dozen times, I would say, without exaggerating. Like different people that stopped us like throughout the whole. We were there probably for like almost 2 hours, like climbing the fort. Throughout like the whole process, people like wanting to take pictures, and like when one person would do it, like 3 other people would come and be like, "Oh, can I have one too? Can I have one too?" Because I guess like the first person like broke the ice, and it was funny. It was cool, acting like fucking celebrities for a day, I guess, and that was pretty fun. And what else? That's pretty much it. That's all I could remember right now. If I think of anything else about those places, I'll let you guys know. Then Monday through Friday, there's not much going on. It's work pretty much, and it's just a bitch adjusting to the time, because then like on the weekends, obviously we go out there in the day, right? But then we work at night on Monday, so we sort of kind of have to like try and stay up like all day Monday after we no, I'm sorry. We have to try to sleep on Monday, like during the day, even though, we just went out during the day on Sunday. So Sunday night we're tired, and, trying not to like fall asleep so that we could sleep a little bit during the day on Monday, and then go to work Monday night. Like I'm going in like New York time. It's like 6 p.m. I'm going in, and then working till 4 in the morning New York time. I'm sorry. Our time here, India time, IST. In New York time, that equates to like 8:30 in the morning to like 6:30 at night or something like that. And it's just a bitch to make that adjustment, like especially like I'm feeling it the first couple of days, and it's whatever. It's part of the experience. Not gonna get into too much of like work stuff because I like to keep that shit separate. But everybody there was super cool, super nice, really sweet. They welcomed us. They had like these like flower petal like arrangements like in the middle of like a huge like floor, like when you get out the elevator, like a big space, and it just spelled out that our company welcomes yours and blah blah blah, and it had like a big flowers shaped into like a flower arrangement type of thing, and it was all like done by hand and really meticulously, and must have taken forever to do, and it was really cool, and everybody there has been cool, and so far on that front so good. I got invited to drink tea a few times. It's like a customary thing here in India, and I had a masala tea, they call it. It's like it has like a gingery flavor. It looks orange. It looks like almost like a muddy orange color. And I wasn't like expecting the tea to look like that. I'm used to fucking like cheap Lipton fucking tea bags in hot water. You know what I mean? That's like transparent, but this was like a thick orangey looking thing, and it was really good. It had like a ginger taste to it. Really, really good. And I'm supposed to go again tomorrow, actually. But yeah, I'm all out of whack with fucking like timing and stuff. I just like asked one of my coworkers when we get back to the hotel, what time is the car coming tomorrow, and then just set my alarm for an hour before, and whenever it rings, just get up and go, and then I don't know, you just get fucking lost like in the work, and it's long hours. It's like 9-10 hour days, like while you're at work, and it's at nighttime, and when I get back, it's like you can't go to sleep right away because you want to sleep during the day, and I get back at 4 in the morning, so I try to stay up for a few hours, but then I have to eat something, so I eat breakfast at night. I mean, well, to me it feels like night because I'm just getting home from work, but I have breakfast to then stay awake a little bit more and then go to sleep instead of staying awake, like you normally do after you have breakfast, and then go to sleep. And then when I go to work, after work, I'm having or in between work or whatever, I'm having lunch, which is really my dinner, and I don't know, it's just all over the place. It's confusing, and it's just an adjustment. I want to see how hard it's gonna be to adjust, because that was like the first weekend to work experience. I want to see after a full week of, by like the fourth or fifth day, I'm guessing my body's gonna be more accustomed to it, and then on Saturday, having to flip it again, to flip it to a daytime schedule, because we want to go out and do shit during the day. Which I even told the guys at work, they invited me to like a cricket game that they play not every weekend, but every so often, and they were like, you should come out with us. We go Friday after work. In my head, I'm thinking, Friday after work, like, oh yeah, definitely, I don't have plans Friday, so I'll go with them and do that, and then Saturday I'll go do what we have planned with the Charminar place that we're supposed to go to. But I'm not factoring in the fact that Friday after work is technically already fucking Sunday, because we get out at 4 a.m. So I'm not gonna be able to do both, obviously. Let me see if I could reschedule the cricket game. It'll be fun. Where else would I fucking play cricket? If you're gonna play cricket, might as well do it in India, right? And what else? That's pretty much it, guys. I'll continue to keep you guys updated. Wanted to update you guys on those things before I forget all the details of it. And that's pretty much it. Stay tuned for more recordings from India.
గుండెలో చెరావుగా ఉచ్ఛ్వాసలాగా మారకే నిశ్వాసలా నీకే న్యాయమా నన్నే మార్చి ఎరుగనంతగా నువ్వలా ఉన్నావేలా నిన్నల్లోనే నిండిపోకలా నిజల్లోకి రా కలలతోనే కాలయాపన నిజాల జాడ నీవెంటూ మెలకు వైకలే చూపే మార్పిది నీ మీద ప్రేమ పుట్టుకొచ్చే ఏం చెయ్యను నువ్వే చెప్పవా ఈ బాధకే ప్రేమన్న మాట తక్కువైందిగా.
What's up, guys? Alright, this is recording number 3 of my trip in India. It is Friday. Well, here it's Saturday, June 6th at 5:48 a.m. and I just got back from work. Back to the hotel room from work. Probably like half hour ago or something like that. No, a little bit more. Like 45 minutes ago. I got here like at 5. And now the dilemma of working nights during the week and wanting to do shit on the weekends is coming into play, because we have plans to go to a local market where like all the local shop and shit like that, and where we could get shit for cheap. And it happens to be in nearby one of the like monuments here that's famous, kind of like a Statue of Liberty type of thing from back in New York. It's called, and like the surrounding area around it is the actual market, so we're gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone and go there and check that out in a bit, because the sun is already up and we have to do it during the day, obviously. And we have planned to meet up at 9:30 in the morning, which is about 4 hours from now. Oh no, not even 3.5 hours from now. And yeah, it's gonna be a bitch, but you gotta grind through it, so we could take care of that and see a couple things. We're also gonna try to see the tomb that we were supposed to see last time, where the driver got confused, that I told you guys about. We're supposed to see that next. And let me just read you guys from the places to see pamphlet here what the place that we're gonna go to tonight is, or not tonight, in a few hours. It's called Charminar, and it is a magnificent edifice. A magnificent edifice. It epitomizes Hyderabad and marks its 400-year history. Built by ruler Quli Qutub Shah, it stands 180 feet tall. The 4 minarets soar to a height of 48.7 meters, each above the ground. Small mosque is located on the roof of the edifice. Close by is the colorful shopping center of bridal wear, attar, which is perfume, and the traditional Hyderabad glass, lacquer, and stones, studded bangles. Bangles are bracelets, which I'm planning to get a shitload there. Supposedly, the area is like known for their bangles. They're supposed to be dope, and they're good, like souvenir gifts for chicks, for females, right? And yeah, that's what we're gonna check out. I am taking my camera, so you guys will be able to check out facebook.com/Spun Today and check out all the pictures. And I'll probably try to do something like dividing, I guess, like different. I forget how Facebook does it because I don't fuck with Facebook too much, but dividing the, I don't know, like picture albums or something like that into like podcast 1, podcast 2, podcast 3. However, like I spit out this recording, and so I could like, you could easily match up to like each episode with like the photos that I'm referring to or whatever. So try to make a mental note of that and remember to do that. If not, then whatever. Facebook.com/Spun Today. It'll be like a big ass album with all pictures of India and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it. It's gonna be a bitch. Like I said, I got home from work. I ordered room service, so I'm gonna pause this when it comes. I'm gonna get like a sandwich and some fries, and maybe take like a power nap for an hour. And if I could even fall asleep, which is, I'm not even sleepy, so it's gonna suck because I'm gonna crash later. And that's pretty much it. Let me give you guys an update on the week. Work has been really cool. Be getting progress on that front, as well as getting more familiar with the culture and the process of how things work. Just working at night and just dealing with a different culture basically. And it's been a pretty cool experience so far. Like I said before, everybody's like super friendly and nice. It's a traditional thing to take you out to drink tea, and I've gone to tea or coffee like mad times already because it's like everybody like wants to take you and they want to be the one to invite you, and it's kind of like a customary thing. And we've drinking ginger tea and masala tea and traditional coffees that they have here as well, and it's been pretty cool. Today actually, the group that I'm training, they asked me yesterday if they can do like a little potluck for me, and they like went home and like cooked. Some of them cooked and some of them purchased like traditional foods. And I was a little scared at first because being from outside the country, like I guess when you visit any country, your stomach is sensitive to like their regional like spices and like shit like that, and like the water and whatever. But it's a hell of an experience. You're not gonna get that type of like authentic experience, just eating like hotel food and shit like that. So it was worth the risk, and I took it and I said yeah. Plus I didn't want to be rude and be like, nah, I don't want to eat your food. So yeah, it was cool. It was, it's 13 people that I'm working with right now, and like they all brought something. It was awesome. It got super full. We ate a lot. I felt a little bit like an oddball because like I can't eat with my hands. Like anybody that knows me knows that I'm a little like OD when it comes to that. Like I overdo it a bit. I like, even like if I have like a big burger or fucking pizza with like a lot of toppings on it or whatever, like I would have to eat it with a fork and knife, like a little pansy. And if you didn't know,
something about India, they literally eat with their hands everything, which is, traditional within their culture. Like, you could be eating rice and beans or chili or like anything. It's literally with your hands, and you ball up the rice with your hands, and you only eat with your hands. They don't use utensils. But I couldn't do that, so I had to grab one of the spoons, like the serving spoons that we were using, and I ate with that. So kind of felt like an oddball, but whatever. They're used to dealing with more I guess like American cultures as well, so it's not like they were looking at me like I have two heads or anything. And what else? But yeah, it was really dope. Really appreciate them doing that. It was a sweet gesture, and gave me an opportunity to try different things. They've also been bringing like snacks like throughout the week, like sweets, which I've been trying as well, and I actually wrote a couple of them down. I had chakoti, which I'm gonna put pictures up. It looks like, what it looks like? You guys remember those like Cheetos that come in a green bag that they're like little round circles? It's like a light green bag, and I think they're Cheetos, but whatever. One of those like cheese fucking like potato chips or whatever. It looks like that. Well, in terms of shape and like consistency, it looks like that, but it's a little lighter in color. It's not like orange. It's like a bland yellowy brownish color, and it looks like it has like some seasoning on it. That was decent. I had that with some plátano chips, which fucking Dominican. I have plátanos coming out my ass. And pause. I've really exposed to plátanos being Dominican. And we had that one day with tea. They brought me something called jalebi, and that was like super, super, super greasy. It was like some sort of like dessert thing that looks like a bunch of little like squiggly lines. But picture like squid. You know squid, like not when it's like calamari, like cut up like calamari, like in those little round things. Not like that, like squid, where it has like the little dangly fucking tentacle things. Picture that, like that dangly part, like like that stringy dangly shit. But like for like a baked good type of thing, and it's so greasy that the dough is like almost transparent, and it has like sugar on it. It's like super greasy. Like I could only take like 2 little pieces of it. One, because just looking at it fucked up my stomach, and 2, because it was just like so sweet and greasy. It was just like too much. So that I didn't like too much. What else? Then today for the potluck thing, there were a couple things that I liked, which was the basmati veg biryani. By veg, I mean like they call veg like vegetarian. Short for vegetarian. Like one of the girls in the session, in the training, asked me, "Are you veg or non-veg?" I was like, "What?" So that's like commonly how it's phrased, veg or non-veg. So this was a basmati veg biryani, which is a rice that's made for special occasions. Biryani is a regional dish that Hyderabad is known for, which is mad good. I really like that. And I'm actually gonna try to get some biryani from like supposedly the best place in Hyderabad for biryani, which is nearby the hotel here. And that was dope. One of the one of the guys' mothers made it, and it was really good. Then the next thing I like was butter chicken, which is actually like a Punjabi dish. They were telling me, but it was really good too. It was slightly spicy. That they ordered from outside, and that was really good. Those are the 2 things I like the most. Roti, I've had some of that. Puri, I had also, which is similar to roti, but it's deep fried. Roti is more like grilled. It's like that flat bread,
and I've had both of those back home. What else? Then there is an interesting tradition that they have, which is after a meal, between the main course, I guess, and the dessert, it's traditional for them to take some rice and then pour something on top of it called raita, Raita, I believe it's spelled raita, and it's like a garlicky. It's like a curd, they said, which I don't even know what the fuck curd is, but it's like a curd made with carrots and garlic and something else. It looks like a milk basically, with fucking carrot slices in it. And they pour that on the rice, mix it around with their hands, because they eat with their hands, which is weird to see for me. And they eat that to end the meal, basically. I guess it's it has some palate fucking cleaning fucking capabilities or whatever. Capabilities is not the right word, but you know what I mean, hopefully. And I tried that. I didn't like it too much. And then for dessert, we had barfi, which is really, really, which is pretty good. It tastes exactly like dulce de leche. If any Dominicans out there, or anybody that's had dulce de leche, is dulce de leche loosely, not loosely, but translates to sweet of milk, or candy made of milk, or some shit like that. Hold on a second, guys. Perfect.
Please nice to meet you.
Thank you. You work long hours, huh?
Pardon?
You work long hours?
No, actually I'm doing a night shift, sir.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So when I should come back for the clearance?
Maybe
30 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. So after 30 minutes I will be coming, sir.
Perfect. So, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good day, sir.
You too, buddy. I unpaused this so you guys could hear the room service dude. My sandwich is here. I'm gonna take a picture of it. It actually looks pretty fucking good. 1 second. There you go. And I'm gonna eat this shit because I'm starving. And then I'll finish off telling you guys the rest of the update. All right, I'm back. And the sandwich wasn't all that, actually. Wasn't that good at all, actually, but I ate half of it because I was hungry. And beggars can't be choosers, right? Okay, so what was it? The potluck that we had at the office. And yeah, I think I wrapped up whatever it was I was speaking about, if I'm not mistaken. Something that I wanted to touch on that I brought up with the group, and I was speaking about, just to get their insights on, and just to give you guys context. The group I'm training is range everywhere between the age of 24 and 29 or something like that. And born and raised in India. India has a lot of arranged marriages. The majority of marriages actually are arranged marriages, and that's interesting to me. You know what I mean? Where we come from, we don't have that, or back in the States, at least not in this traditional sense. And it's that some people said it's 60-40. 60% arranged marriages and 40% love marriage. That's what they call it, which is sad to hear. but only like one or two of them said that. Most of them agreed that it's somewhere between like 80 and 90% arranged marriages, and 10 to 20% love marriages. And that's not even the most interesting part, but it's fucking, I don't know, I can't picture that shit. An arranged marriage. The way they told me it works is that they do have a choice, but that it's up to the parents to speak, to look for, it's up to the guy's parents specifically to look for a girl, and it's based on like her family and shit, and they speak with the girl's parents, and then between the two they arrange their marriage, and then the couple gets to meet, and then I guess the girl and the guy both have a say in it. They stress that, so I guess maybe that's like a misconception, or either that or they wanted to cover up the fact that they don't have a choice. One of the two, but it seemed like it's a like common misconception or something like that, that they have a choice. So at that point, if they decide not to, one or the other, then the parents just continue searching. And I think they have to be of the same age, or at least within the same age range, and from the same community or town. Like they have to live like within the same area. And two of the guys in the group are married, and they were both arranged marriages. One of them actually just had a baby. And I asked them, this is the part that I found the most interesting. Well, before I get to that, then the other alternative is the love marriage, which is, two people, what it sounds like, they fall in love and get married, which is, it sounds like so weird to have that as the less common scenario. But different cultures, right? It is what it is. And I asked them, how do they feel about that? Like, I was coming from the angle of, being like a younger generation. Maybe that's something they're like, oh, we do it because it's tradition, but, we don't really believe in that. And like the tide is changing type of thing. But they were all for arranged marriages. There was one girl or something in the group that said that she wanted a love marriage. But, the majority of them said that they want an arranged marriage, and that's the part that I found most fascinating. And they felt like an arranged marriage was better than a love marriage. And I don't know, I just found that even more fascinating and interesting than the fact that they actually have arranged marriages is the fact that they prefer arranged marriages to love marriages, at least within that sample size of 13 individuals between the ages of 22 and 29. And I don't know, that's fucking weird to me. But something that I asked them actually was what the divorce rate is. And they were like, oh no. They were like, divorce is like, it happens, but it's like, if it happened, it's like super, super rare. They made it seem like, every fucking 30 years one person gets divorced or something. You know what I mean? So I guess in terms of efficiency, fucking arranged marriages is the way to go. I mean, back in the States, I told them that the divorce rate is somewhere between like 50 and like 52% or some shit like that. So apparently the love marriage over there doesn't work. But over here, either they really it's really taboo to get divorced. Maybe that's what it is. But if not, then whatever. I guess that matchmaking arranged shit works. It works well. I mean, they seem to be happy, the ones that are married. And in terms, if you compare it to divorce rates, it's pretty efficient, unless they're just like living together like miserably or something like that. And I guess you can grow to love someone if you're arranged to like be with them and you kind of like each other's company and choose to get married. Love is something that can be developed. It's something that I think I've spoken about this before, in my opinion anyway. You can either have like that instant attraction, love at first sight type of fairy tale thing going on, or you have the type of love which to me is more like practical and more common, which is you have some of that
first type mixed with hard work and dedication and compassion and compromise and working towards building something together, which is how all together mixed, what am I trying to say? All those things together mix into be the soil, the rich soil from which love blooms. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. But yeah, I thought that was interesting as fuck, that arranged marriage thing. And what else? Oh, something else that I found interesting so far here in my one full week, actually. Today, Saturday, is 1 full week of being here in India. And it's the last thing I'm going to say for this session, is the fact that there's no AC in like hallways and in elevators, which is weird. And this is not just in like, little weird areas or whatever that have like broken AC or something. I'm talking about like the hotel, for example, which is, like a fancy-ish hotel. There's no, once you walk out of the room, you obviously have AC in the room. Once you walk out of the room into the hallway, there's no AC, so it's like really hot. In the elevator, no AC or ventilation or anything like that at all. It's really hot. And same thing in the shopping malls that we went to. The elevators don't have AC. And in the building that I'm working at, which is like a brand new, state-of-the-art like building, it in the hallways, in the staircase, everything, completely hot as hell. It's like 100 degrees outside, so, and like humid. There was like thunderstorms and shit like that yesterday. And there's no AC. And when you get in the elevator, no AC. And I just found that interesting and different, because fucking spoiled American used to having AC like everywhere you fucking walk into. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's what I have so far. That wraps up the first week here in Hyderabad, India. Hope you guys are I don't know, somewhat kind of sort of feel like you're along for the ride, like in this trip, and able to describe the experience thoroughly enough to at least make you feel somewhat like you're part of it, or like behind the scenes, like type of thing. That's like my goal here with this. And if not, then whatever, go fuck yourself. Alright guys, until next time.
ఆకాశమంచు తాకుతున్న గుండెనే కొరుక్కు తిన్న కళ్ళు చూసినంతనే మనస్సు నవ్వే మొదటిసారి ఏం మార్పిది ఎడారి ఎండమావి ఉప్పెనై ఉంచెనే కలే కాదుగా నీ వల్లనే భరించలేని తీపి బాధలే.
What's up, folks? Tony here. I hope you're enjoying this podcast as much as I enjoy producing it for you. Here are a few quick ways you can help support this show. You can support the Spun Today podcast by going to spuntoday.com/support. There, you'll find my merch section, where you can cop the iconic Podcasts vs. Anybody t-shirt in a wide variety of different colors and all different sizes. Also, if you're into cycling, you can cop the super soft, comfortable, minimalist design Spun Today Bike Club t-shirt. Also available in a bunch of different colors in all different sizes. There are a few other designs of different types of t-shirts. Definitely go there and check it out. spuntoday.com/support. It's the merch section, where you can also get a dope coffee mug. I have coffee mugs with the brand new redesigned Spun Today logo on one side and the tagline that I end every show with on the other, which is start taking steps in the general direction of your dreams. The mug is available in both black and white, because we don't discriminate here at the Spun Today podcast. Again, go to spuntoday.com/support and check out the merch section. You can support the Spun Today podcast by checking out my writing. you can go to spuntoday.com/free writing and check out some of my free association writing, which is intended to be some cathartic free writing, but oftentimes doubles down as motivation for myself and others. At spuntoday.com/short stories, you can read a bunch of the different short stories that I've written and actually listen to the audiobook versions of those short stories there as well. Another way you can help support my writing is by going to spuntoday.com/books and checking out what I have in store for sale. Digital copies are available in all formats, whether it be Kindle, iBooks, or a different type of e-reader. You can also purchase paperback copies if that's your preferred reading method. Currently available, I have my nonfiction, Make Way for You, which is a collection of freely written thoughts that were curated and put together as tips for getting out of your own way. Also available is my debut time travel novel titled FRACTAL. Again, go to spuntoday.com/books to show your support. Support the Spun Today podcast by following me on social at Spun Today on Twitter, at Spun Today on Instagram. Please also check out and like my Facebook page, facebook.com/Spun Today, and subscribe to my YouTube page as well. On my YouTube page, not only will you get these full-length episodes, but you'll also get to check out some chopped up clips and bonus content. To get to my YouTube page, just search Spun Today on YouTube or click on any of the YouTube icons on the footer of my website. Also, don't forget to rate and review this podcast wherever it is that you're listening. It really does help. The Spun Today newsletter is available to each and every one of my listeners absolutely for free. All you have to do is go to spuntoday.com/subscribe and drop in your email address. What I'm going to do is brighten up everybody's least favorite day of the week by delivering 5 curated things within my weekly newsletter every Monday at noon. You're going to receive a photo of the week, a recommended podcast of the week. I listen to tons of podcasts from an array of varied interests. I cherry pick the very best ones so that you can check them out. I also share a video of the week, which can be anything from a tasty recipe to a dope rap battle to an enlightening TED Talk. I also share a quote of the week. And finally, for my fellow wordsmiths out there, a word of the week, so that you can step up your vocab. Again, this curated list is yours absolutely free by going to spuntoday.com/subscribe and dropping in your email address, and you can unsubscribe at any time. Again, go to spuntoday.com/subscribe, drop in your email address, and you'll get the very next one. If you want to help support the Spun Today podcast financially, you can do so by going to spuntoday.com/support. Here you'll find a few different ways that you can do so. You can shop on Amazon, but first go to my website, spuntoday.com/support, click on the Amazon banner, which will take you to Amazon's website where you do your shopping like you normally do. It will not cost you anything extra, but I will get credit for driving traffic to their website. Another cool way that you can help support this show is through Patreon, where you can set up reoccurring donations to my podcast, whether it be $1 per show, $2 per show, etc. And depending on how much you choose to pledge, you will receive some Patreon perks in return. Things like free writing pieces, free bookmarks, free digital copies of my books, etc. Again, my Patreon link can be found at spuntoday.com/support. You can also set up similar reoccurring payments via my Ko-fi page. And if you want to send a one-time happiness bomb donation, if you will, you can do so via my PayPal link. Again, all of which can be found at spuntoday.com/support. If you're a fellow creative, a cool way that you can help support the Spun Today podcast and actually be part of the podcast is by filling out my 5-question questionnaire located at spuntoday.com/questionnaire. Here you'll find 5 open questions related to your craft, your art, what inspires you to create, what type of unrelated hobbies you're into, and what motivates you to get your work done. You can choose to remain anonymous or plug your website and your work. And once you submit your questionnaire, I read your responses on a future episode of the Spun Today podcast. It's completely free at no cost to you. And what I like to say about it is that if your responses could potentially spark inspiration in someone else, why not share that? spuntoday.com/questionnaire. And as always, folks, substitute the mysticism with hard work and start taking steps in the general direction of your dreams. Thanks for listening.
I love you, Aiden.
I love you, Daddy.
I love you, Grayson.
I love you, Daddy.